A lot of people talk all day, but the one thing that you cannot fake is the body game. People will judge you off your physique. And even this past week, I talked about how I was trying to get into some new activities. And I thought about trying Muay Thai. Now, the gym I went to, they were very not organized. Because I went there, and the day I went, they was like, oh, Muay Thai, they sparring today. Do you want to spar? I said, I mean, sure. I'm down. And then another guy was like, yeah, let's not do that. And I was like, okay. They're like, we'll put you in a boxing class. So then I go to a boxing class, and, I've done a little bit of boxing. They're like, yeah, he's really good with techniques. They're going to make sure you get right and stuff like that. And then I go to the boxing class, and it's like, the guy sat down the whole time. Very obese guy. And I understand, some people coach, and they're not in the best shape now. Maybe in his heyday, he was like something different, but he let himself go. And I remember at the end of it, they were too salesy for me. And nobody talked to me the whole time. I was just seeing I wonder if someone's gonna reach out to me. There was two workers that talked to me, but people that went to the gym, nobody talked to me at all. Which I'm not used to that. The boxing gym I used to go to, it was a smaller gym. Usually there was 8 of us in there. So we have a new guy in the gym. It's kind of we bring you in, everybody's chopping it up. Everybody's cool. There it's kind of you had your little cliques, and it's nobody said a word to me. And then the guy that worked there, he kept mentioning oh yeah, you're in good shape, and yeah, I already know you're in good shape. He said 4 different times. I'm like, okay, bro's kind of being weird. Why you had to say, I swear y'all, he said it 4 times. So then I go to the boxing class, and the guy's extremely obese, didn't stand up at all the whole time. It's you telling me he's gonna show me some technique and stuff when he can hardly walk. No disrespect, but just calling what it is, So I'm just yeah, this shit ain't it. And at the end of the class, the dude's kind of salesy, trying to get me to sign up and stuff. And I'm the type of person, if I was going to sign up, I'd probably just sign up for the year, And I told him that. So after that, he really pushing it. And I'm just what could we have done better? And I don't want to be honest. I'm well, your coach kind of a fat ass. Respectfully, he's kind of a fat ass. He sat down the whole time. I can't. Well, that's who I want to learn from. Maybe I'm wrong for that, but it's for me though. If I'm getting trained by somebody, I want them to be in shape. Even if they're older, they could still be in good shape. You ain't gotta be fucking Diesel. But it's at least be mobile, at least be able to walk around a little bit. But when you sit down the whole class just yelling, I don't respect that, dog. And I'm not going to spend my money with you. So just off that coach being overweight, that swayed my choice really quickly. If he would have been standing up and showing us how to do stuff, maybe I would have signed up to that gym. But just the fact that he sat down the whole time and he just yelling out stuff, I'm just why would I pay this much money for this? And that's what I want you guys to realize, how much your physique affects things. Because he probably he probably thinks his physique has nothing to do with people signing up. But if I was honest with the guy, when he's could we have done anything better? I'd been well, your coach is extremely overweight. He didn't show me any type of technique at all. I did a little bit of boxing before, but at the same time, you talking about he's so good with technique. He sat down the whole time. What type of fucking technique is that? So even on a day-to-day basis, people will judge you off your physique. Especially in something like that, dog. I bet you there's a lot of people. And I said, maybe that's why nobody really talked to me. Because they probably have a lot of people do the 1-day trial, the 1-week trial, and then they never show up again. Because they probably see the same thing I see. This extremely obese coach. And they're just that puts you on the fence about them. It's just a gym I used to go to, man, growing up. I used to go to the Y. I remember there was one personal trainer. He'd be in there talking to everybody, and he's fat. I'm not saying you can't be a fat personal trainer, but I'm going to say most of these people aren't going to take you seriously. Nah, most of these motherfuckers ain't going to take you seriously. I guess you're more relatable to certain people. If someone's extremely obese and you less obese, they might consider you oh, he can relate to me better. But at the same time, be most of us ain't taking you serious. You can't even apply that shit to yourself. I don't know. I don't respect that shit, though. Call me fat phobic, call me whatever you want to, dog. But that's probably the main thing that swayed my choice on going there. And then they were being too salesy too. And then when they scheduled a thing, you know, I wanted to do a Muay Thai class. You got me doing a boxing class. Because you're talking about, oh, they sparring today. It's like, well, you should have told me that on the phone. You know? So, I don't know, man. But your physique tells a story, dog. You know, a lot of people can talk hella good. You know? Like, I think there's a good chance I would have signed up for a year if this coach was, like, actually up there showing us how to do shit. If he wasn't extremely overweight. When I see him sitting down, it's like, how I'm supposed to go hard? How I'm supposed to go hard, but when you just laying, you just sitting there like a shit ass. Just sipping your, you know what I'm saying? You just over there sipping. How I'm supposed to be going hard and I see that? That's going to make me want to go harder? No, I want to be around dogs, dog. You know? And that's the thing I liked about my old gym, dog. Cause it was cheap, dog. I used to throw the coach $20 a week, man. And he was still like fighting. You know, that would be more inspiring. I see him in there going hard. Now I want to go hard. The dude that's coaching me, I see him going hard. Now I want to go hard. I see him when he take off his shirt, he's shredded. That boy shredded. Abs just shredded. I see this dude got a 3-4 XL shirt on. Meat going, you know, buddy got meat going down to his knees. His gut just sagging. Like I'm going to get inspired looking at that shit. Like I'm going to want to go hard looking at that shit. Maybe I would want to go hard looking at that shit like, man, there's no fucking way I can look like that. Maybe. But I'd rather look at a dude that's still doing it, dog. A dude that's still going hard. You know, I guess there's pros and cons to having a coach that's still fighting. Because, you know, he doesn't have as much focus on you because he focuses on what he's doing too. But it's like, I'd prefer to be around dudes still getting after it. That's not to say you can't find one of these old heads to be a good boxing coach and stuff, and he might be a little out of shape. But when he's obese, like he's hardly standing up, dog, you can't be no good coach. You can't be no good coach. Because you might want to do something, but you got all that weight on you, you're just going to keep sitting down. He got to want to get up and show somebody, oh, you're doing that wrong. Let me show you how to do it. But he's not going to do that because he's so overweight. That would take the life out of him if he tried to do that too quickly. You know, man? So, man, take your body seriously. Not just for your health, but also because this world would treat you differently when you're in shape, dog. I'm sure there's a lot of people that went to that boxing class and they say, yeah, I'm not going back to this. Brody too big. Brody too sloppy. What the fuck he going to show me? And like I say, he might have a lot of knowledge. He might have been an amazing boxer. I might be talking shit about a dude that was a crazy heavyweight back in the day. I don't know. But right now, what I'm looking at you, shit ass. You know? And that's the thing about this world, man. People don't care about what you did 20 years ago. What are you doing today? Can you still show me how to get down today? Or your heyday was 20, 30 years ago, and now you just a straight shit ass. People don't respect that, dog. That's why you got to keep improving. And sometimes the improvement looks different. Sometimes you get to a point where you can't keep building muscle. Sometimes you get to a point where you can't keep getting stronger, but now you can focus on your mobility a little bit. Now you can try a different skill that you haven't tried. Man, life is just self-improvement. It's about if you're not growing, you dying, dog. And I want to be around growth. I don't care what your age is, dog. Do some shit that's going to challenge you. Because, man, these motherfuckers that don't challenge themselves at all, you can just look at them, dog. They dying, dog. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. People will judge you off your physique. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't. I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.